Hello everyone, welcome to tutorial on user-defined function in SQL. In this course, we will talk about the use of table-valued and scalar-valued function in SQL. Table-valued function. A table-valued function is a user-defined function that returns data of a table type. Table-valued function that allows us to encapsulate logic and to return tabular data. SQL syntax. First, create function, then function name, and then if we have any parameter like here parameter1, then data type, parameter2, then data type, and similarly parameter n and data type, and then returns table to be return table. So here column1 DataType, column2 DataType, and column n and DataType as begin, and then your logic, and then returns the tabular data. So let's take a look in query window to see a simple example. First we need to select the database. So this is our payroll management DB. So use, yes, our database has been selected. So now I just want to create a new function for table-valued function. So create function and then function name. I just want to add DBO, then function name fn get employee by ID, and then we need to add the parameter. The function name I just named as get employee by ID, so I just want to add a parameter for employee ID, and its type int integer, and then I just need to declare the tabular valued table returns at employee listing and then its type table and possible columns of that employee listing function table. So employee ID and its type integer, and then employee name NVARCHAR. I just want to set it 100, and then employee gross salary and its type decimal 18,2. So and then I need to add as, then begin end. In this position we just need to add your function logic. Here your logic. So I just want to select employee, select star from employee. So and sorry, where employee ID equal this parameter, this is the parameter, and I just want to compare with employee ID, and here we just want to select ID comma first name comma gross salary, and these three items, or these three columns, we already have selected, we already have declared in employee listing. So we can insert here, insert into employee listing. So these columns, the employee info table columns like ID, first name and gross salary will be populated or will be inserted into employee listing. So, and then we just need to return means here the employee listing table or tabular data. So if I execute this section, wow, commands completed successfully. So we have created a new function or tabular function for DBO FN get employee ID, employee by ID. So we can find it in programmability, and then functions, and then tabular value function. Just refresh it. Yes, here it is, the get FN get employee by ID function that we already have created now. So this is the function. First I just created the function name, and then its parameter, and then a temp table that will be returned by this function, and here our logic, and we just select from employee info by using our parameter employee ID, and this value with this value populated in employee listing table. Here is the insert into statement or query, and finally we return means the listing, employee listing table, because it is our table valued function. So we created this function. So here is the question: how do we call this function? This is the function name, select star from, this is the function, and we just need to pass the parameter here. So if I execute this, yes, this is the employee info by using employee ID 1. If I change the value to, then here it is Ricky, and its ID 2, and its parameter gross salary. So in this way we can use the we can create the tabular valued function. So this when we pass the parameter, we must use the first bracket, and it inside the first bracket we just need to pass the parameter. If we have multiple parameters, then we need to separate them by using comma. So here we have only one parameter, so I just use only 1, 2 or 3, and this is the tabular valued function. So we just need to select star from and then function name, because it is table, it is as like table. So by and we can select as like table. So in this way we can use tabular valued function in our SQL query. Now scalar valued function. Scalar valued function that helps us to encapsulate logic and to return scalar data. SQL syntax. First create, then create function and function name, and then parameter, and then return type, and then its data type as begin, and then return. So let's take a look in query window to see a simple example how do we use or how do we create a scalar valued function in SQL query. So create function and then schema dbo dot fn underscore get employee gross salary by id, get employee gross salary by id, and then employee id integer, and then returns in its type decimal 18,2, then as begin and here we just need to declare a value scalar that we will return. So declare employee gross salary, employee gross salary decimal 18,2 equal 0. Now we just want to select from employee info the gross salary. Select top one then it is equal gross salary from employee info. Now gross salary, here it is gross salary where employee id equal at employee id. This is the parameter of this function, and I just want to this is not necessary here, so I just compare with employee id. So and then finally we need to return this is the scalar variable, and I just want to return employee gross salary, and this is the function. So if I execute this, sorry, it tells me I already have this function, so I just need to drop the function first. Yes, drop completed. So now I can execute. Yes, command completed successfully. So this is the scalar valued function named as dbofn get employee gross salary by id. This so we can found it at a scalar list, a scalar valued function. Here it is. So we can select how to use or how do we select the function for a scalar value. So select, then function name, then we need to pass the parameter because we this function expect one parameter for employee ID. Here I just want to give the value 1. So execute. This is the gross salary for employee ID 1. If I change this value by using 2, here it is. So in this way we can use scalar-valued function in our SQL query. Here the difference between scalar-valued and tabular-valued function, this selection mode. This is the tabular-valued function, and in this selection mode as like table, because this function treated as table, and this is scalar valued or like a value. So we can't use here start from, just only select. When we use this function in our large query, we just need to follow these rules to select the function. So in this way we can use scalar and tabular valued function in our SQL query. Keep watching the next tutorial. Thank you.